news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. My name is Selom Adonu. Tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes, minority members on the Appointments Committee of Parliament accuses Chairman Honorable Bernard Ahiafo of bullying the minority members on the committee and also shielding the three nominees vetted earlier in the week. Do you agree? We'll hear more from the other side as well. Also coming up, is there a looming fuel shortage or not?
Today, the fuel shortage you find in the market, lightly in a way, it has to do with the PMS. Okay, BDCs ceased to import because that was good for oil.
Majority of the BDCs currently are having products at Anchorage. There is currently a vessel that is being discharged that is discharging petrol. So there isn't any cause for alarm.
Also coming up on Eyewitness News, former National Security Advisor to Professor Mills poo-poos NDC's no-fee stress program, where the government is to pay university fees for first years as unnecessary and a wrong policy. He also questioned the quality of graduates produced from Ghana's universities. We will examine his argument tonight on Eyewitness News. Still on the program, President Mahama appoints his security chiefs. Who are they and what do they bring? Stay with 97.3 City FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News in business.
Fitch projects improved performance for Ghanaian banks in 2025.
Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. Also, in the Western region, we are on Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Bono region, this is Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, Hames Radio 106.5 in Gosu in the Ahafo region. Ashanti region, this is Alpha Radio 104.9 in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 of FM, also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Global 105.1 FM in Ho and Adanu 107.7 FM in Adaklu Wire. In the northern region, Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. In the upper west, West Link 88.1 FM at Laura, and in the upper east, this is Source 100.1 FM in Boku. In the northeast, Scap 101.3 FM at Nakmanduri. Your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. You can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Selom Adonu. The hashtag, as always, is City Newsroom. Now, straight to our very first story. The minority in Parliament has accused the chairman of the Appointments Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, of partisanship and shielding ministerial nominees of President John Dramani Mahama from thorough scrutiny. The minority alleges that the chairman deliberately failed to provide members with the nominee CVs ahead of the vetting process, denying them the opportunity for constructive questioning. They further claim that he restricted questions relating to the nominee CV, thereby limiting effective oversight. They addressed the press today, and the person who actually spoke to the press is Dr. Gideon Boako, Member of Parliament for Tano North, and you know him as he used to be the technical advisor to the Vice President. Now he is MP for Tano North, and he joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, Doc. Welcome to Eyewitness. Once again, congratulations on winning that seat. But what exactly do you mean by the chairman is being partisan and shielding ministerial nominees, of the president? We know the persons who appeared before you. A lot of people say they could attest to their competence. Indeed, they've worked in Parliament and you've seen all of them. What else did you want to scrutinize them about, apart from all that you did yesterday or a few days ago?
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity. So the press conference we had today was not just focusing on the chairman's conduct. We also looked at the substance of some of the responses the nominee offered to the questions that were asked. But in respect of the chairman's conduct, yes, it is true that you can say that all three three nominees, because of their past experiences and their parliamentary experiences, they have all been deputy ministers before in their respective ministries that they have been nominated to go and serve as substantive minister. But be that as it may, it is only right that the vetting committee also takes time to vet them and ask the most important and relevant questions. The fact that somebody has academic qualifications and has some past working experience does not mean that the person may not have one issue or the other that could potentially prevent him or her from becoming a substantive minister in the area that the person has been served. Other than that, there is no need for vetting. So the necessity of the vetting is to invite memoranda from the public and also give the vetting committee members the opportunity to delve deeper into issues that if you don't have the opportunity to sit down face to face with the nominee, you may not be able to uncover. So that is exactly what the Constitution and the Standing Orders of Parliament mandate the vetting committee to do. So it is absolutely necessary. We think that first three nominees have come through, but we are on a learning curve. So as we go forward, if there are issues that we found unsatisfactory in respect to the first vetting, it is important that we bring those issues to the fore so that as we move forward, we are able to do a very good job. The Ghanaian people expect the representatives, that is members of parliament, to do a good job. I'm very certain the president himself expects parliament to do the right thing, because we have seen instances in other jurisdictions where people pass through appointment committees and later some adverse findings are found about them. And it makes nonsense of the whole process. And the issue about vicarious liability and all of that. So it is important that we do the right thing. But we felt that the way the chairman conducted himself, he was a bit overly partisan. And we felt that some of the languages he used on some of the members were, for want of better word, were not appropriate. And also, he didn't allow members the opportunity to express themselves willingly and also to ask the kind of critical questions that ought to have been asked. For instance, none of the three nominees who appeared before the committee had a CV submitted to the members before the vetting started. If you want me to vet somebody, and I don't even have the basic document upon which I can find some information about the person and go and do some background check, exactly what kind of questions do you want me to come and ask the person? So these are shortfalls that we think that they are not so fatal, but it is important that we draw attention and going forward we correct some of these issues. That's the reason why we
I see. The issue about CVs, but did your leadership have the CVs, or is it a case that all minority members didn't have it and did the majority guys on the committee have it? Just to clarify.
The whole thing, I think the speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker, received communication from the president on Friday, on Thursday. Friday was the only working day. The next is Saturday and Sunday. And the vetting was Monday. So in actual sense, the whole thing was rushed. There was no time for anybody to do any background check, to refer to anything. I personally, I was on the committee. I never saw any CV of any of the nominees. The other members who have told me they got CVs, said they got the CVs while they were sitting on the panel and the nominees were seated. That is when the CVs were circulated to them. At that point in time, not much can be done. You understand? So these are the limitations, and I think they can be, they can be worked on. It's not so fatal, but it's important we draw attention to some of these issues as we move forward.
I see. I'm wondering why you would blame the chairman for this. Of course, he's a chairman of the committee, but you alluded to the fact that the speaker made the announcement on Friday, or Friday was only working day, etc., and the fact that the vetting had to be, in your own words, rushed. And I did recall that the deputy ranking on the committee, the Honorable Patricia PJ, tried in poking some fun or joke at Ato Forsin by saying that what sins had they committed to move for them to get them to move the vetting to the day when it was supposed to have been the next day. So clearly there was something else going on which was way beyond the powers of the chairman. So why do you accuse the chairman of deliberately failing to provide the nominees with the CVs ahead of time, when clearly there were bigger things than him at play?
Are you saying as a matter of certainty or you're guessing? Why do you want me to answer the question based on your guess? You're guessing. You don't know for certainty whether or not any was beyond the chairman's capacity. In any case.
Well, I'm making the point because you said that you mentioned the speaker and you said the whole thing appeared to have been rushed. And I'm also telling you that I heard we all saw Patricia PJ try to make the point about how it was moved from the day after, the following day to the day they did the vetting. And from what you were saying, it clearly means that there were some other considerations than we saw in the public. So I'm asking, why will you blame that on the chairman?
The fact that the deputy ranking member openly asks about what sense they have committed to have rushed them through the process like that should obviously tell you there was a problem. Other than that, the deputy ranking, she may have been charitable to have said that in a jovial manner, but she was putting an issue across. She said that opinion, we all heard her. She's a deputy ranking member. She's part of leadership. If she really understood what was happening and was comfortable with that, there's no way she should have made that statement public to suggest that the whole thing has been rushed through. And that is exactly what we put out today. And we on the committee, and those of us who are friends to the committee, we work with the chairman. It's not the speaker. So we cannot put this blame at the doorstep of the speaker. Between the chairman and the speaker, if there's a problem, it is the chairman who can make that blame. But we don't deal directly with the speaker. At our level, it is the chairman who interfaces between us and the speaker. So that is exactly what we are saying. We don't want this to be seen as a criticism that should not be taken in good faith. This is more or less like a critique. But Ghanaians expect the members of parliament who have been assigned to vet the nominees. And likewise, I think the president doesn't want a situation also where he will present a nominee to parliament. And parliament, excuse my language, does not do diligent job and just rush people through, and they come out, and at the end of the day, they are not able to do what Ghanaians expect them to do. At the end of the day, we all will suffer. So that is exactly what we are trying to put out, that we could have done it better. There's still more room for improvement, and we are on a learning curve. There's still opportunity for us to make sure that going forward, the other nominees who will come. You remember in the past, when Honorable Joe Sewusu was the chairman of the committee, the immediate past vetting that we have seen, a member of parliament like Okudjeta Ablakwa will be given opportunity to peruse the CV, about 10 to 20 minutes, do back and forth with the nominees to ensure that the background information, the CV, everything is accurate before they start the vetting. We didn't see that in the Monday's vetting. So that is what we are calling for. We saw that was a good practice, where Okudjeto Suhini will be given opportunity to ask pertinent and important questions based on the CV submitted to members of the committee. This did not happen in the recent vetting that we did. And we think that practice that used to exist during the tenure of Honorable Joe White and the previous chairman of the committee is something that must be revisited. And I think it will be in the best interest of Ghana if we are able to do that.
I see. So you also make the point that he was shielding some of the nominees. What exactly, or what specifically can you point to buttress your point about the speaker, chairman shielding the nominees?
You saw the altercation between the chairman and the Honorable Abena Asare, MP for Atiwa East. You saw how he prevented even me from asking the follow-up question. When I asked a nominee a question and the person provided an answer, and I felt that the person was economical with the truth on the answer. Courtesy demands that the right thing to have done is to allow me the opportunity to do a follow-up question. He said no. You saw the issue he had with Sami Oku. You saw the issue the chairman had with MP for Atiwa West, Koko, when she started laying a preamble to the question. The chairman shut her up and said that she should go straight to the question. We are not kids. If I want to lay a very solid question, ask a very solid question, I must lay the foundation to the question. And the chairman said, no. When you do that, you're not helping the process. You see, the nominees have come in their own right and in their own capacities as people who are qualified. So if there are questions, allow them to answer those questions. If they don't believe themselves that they can answer those questions, they will come and sit there. In any case, all these nominees are people of repute. We think they have the capacity, they'll be able to do so. But the Ghanaian people also need to know. And we all should be able to also tell that indeed, it is not just paper qualifications or just experiential qualifications, but they can also stand their feet, reason on the spur of the moment to answer questions, to address problems. And that is the kind of work they have been assigned to go and do. So if you're a chairman and you prevent people from exercising these rights to elicit the right responses to determine the qualification or otherwise of the nominees, then you're not helping the process. But that is exactly what happens. But we think that these are things that you can work on as you move along.
Yeah, what I saw was a chairman who was trying to insist on the rules. So you mentioned the Honorable Abnause Asari. For example, she wanted the finance minister designate to be careful about how he portrayed the situation, because in her view, the way a finance minister designate speaks could deter investors from coming to the country. In essence, she wanted an apology or retraction of a sort. So I'm not sure she was prevented from asking a question. In your case too, I'm sure it was a question that related to data. And he said, no, you were just a friend of the committee, and so he wouldn't give you another opportunity and things like that. Talking about stopping...
That was not it.
Very well, I'll give you the opportunity to explain. Talking about people laying preamble, we saw the Honorable Bafuwa, a member for Mensha South, in his question to the Attorney General designate on the public tribunal. He laid a very long preamble, reading, paragraphs from the Africa Watch Human Rights Group, journal or publication. But he was allowed to do so because perhaps he did it in a manner that was relevant to what he wanted to do. And he went ahead and they went at it for a long time.
I hate it when you want to impugn your thoughts and you say things like perhaps, and you're not certain about what you're saying.
No, but you don't. Just go ahead and answer the question. I mean, I'm putting the points across, so just go ahead and answer.
I'm coming. But if your point is questionable, I have to raise it to you.
No, I'm asking a question, so you can't say my question is questionable. I'm asking a question, and I'm asking a question based on what I saw and what happened. So if you answer, just say you cannot answer, or just go ahead and answer, and rather than trying to interrogate my question, I think that's problematic.
No, you have the right to ask me a question. You are the anchor, and I don't have right to also ask you something. Yes. What I'm saying is that Honorable Balfour's thing that you're talking about was the last nominee. Abana was the person who asked the first question. The chairman sought to intimidate her by preventing her from laying a preamble before asking the question. That was litigated and fought by the minority leader, Afenyo Market. It was subsequent to that Balfour's issue came, and the chairman allowed that. In my case, he gave me the opportunity to ask a question. I asked a question, and I asked the nominee whether or not, in the face of the issues I have laid, he would consider apologizing. The chairman quickly said no. I won't let it. So it was a simple question, yes or no. Why can't you allow the nominee to answer that question, yes or no? Okay, in the case of Abana Asari's incidents, you are simplifying it that way. The nominee, who is a member of parliament, sought to discredit data that had been presented in Ghana's budget for 3 consecutive years and presented to Parliament, and Parliament approving. When I asked a question challenging the data that the nominee had put across, he was going to seek refuge in what he describes as his independent source, discrediting data from Ghana Statistical Service and the Ministry of Finance. And Abroad sought to draw the chairman's attention that the nominee is a member of Parliament. He is part of the people who approve the data. Parliament is a house of records. You cannot go beyond data that is approved by Ghana's House of Records to go and cite another source that he describes as independent. The chairman did not allow that. This is not right. Okay, so that is the basis for what we are saying, that the conduct of the chairman could have been organized in a more friendly manner and in a manner that engenders harmony. We did not see that on Monday. It doesn't mean everything the chairman did was wrong. We will be very, very ungrateful or dishonest to say that. But where there are critical issues that call for the attention of the chairman to amend his way such that going forward, Ghanaians watching at home, people following, and those of us inside will have that, cleanness of conscience to say that, yes, we had a very perfect vetting. The nominee who has come out of the vetting is a product of a proper sentencing. And then we all agree that this person qualifies. That is all that we are calling for.
I see. I hope as we grow that the process gets fine-tuned. So I'm sure all of you, including the chairman, will gather more experience so that things get better. Thank you so much, the Honorable Gideon, Dr. Gideon Boakong, Member of Parliament for the Tannon of constituency, and he addressed the press today in respect of their assessment of the chairman of the vetting committee, the appointments committee of Parliament, his conduct, some of the responses also given by the nominees. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, we will tell you more, including what the former National Security Advisor, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah, has been saying about NDC's flagship, one of the flagship programs, the No Fee Stress. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
The festive season is here. You know what that means. Groceries, bills, and so many unplanned expenses. But don't panic. There's a cool new feature on Haptel you have to know about. It's called Pay Small Small. Yes, like the name says, pay small. It's Ghana's first widely and instantly available buy now, pay small service. With Pay Small, you can buy food, groceries, airtime, and pay all your bills without paying the full amount upfront. So this festive season, you're sorted. Pay a small fraction of what you're buying now and spread the rest into 3 weekly payments. All you need is your Ghana card to activate it and you're set. It's the perfect solution to keep your pockets in check this festive season and beyond. So don't wait. Go to your Haptel app now and choose Pay Small as your payment option. Haptel is everything you.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Some of your messages that have been coming through to us here. This one from Nutifafa from our flower says the minority is here to recover from their loss. We all saw the hostilities under the chairmanship of Jose Usu in the 8th Parliament. They should spare us this cheap propaganda, you say. Mause E.B. Einstein, the Volta region, says the accusations against Honorable Bernard Ahiafo regarding bias in the appointments committees lacks substance. It's essential to trust the process in place and recognize that due diligence or due process is being practiced. Let's focus on constructive criticism rather than unfounded claims that undermine the integrity of our parliamentary system. Fairness should be the name of the game, not business allegations. Jones Adobo says, good evening, Salon. The micro minority just want to be heard. We all watched the vetting and we saw at every point how the micro minority leader was very invasive. They had all the time in this world to ask every question they could. This press conference was needless, you say. This one from SK Dread says, interesting, the micro team have the presence of mind to criticize Honorable Ahiafo, but don't see anything wrong with how Afenyo Markin misconducted himself, belittling behavior towards the chairman of the committee. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Now, a former chief of staff, a former chief of defense staff, and also a former national security advisor to former President Mills, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah, retired, has expressed reservations about the current NDC administration's manifesto promise to introduce free tuition for first-year tertiary students. Speaking during a stakeholder engagement at the Raleigh Senior High School today, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah, retired, emphasized that parents who wish to support their children through tertiary education should be prepared to meet the financial demands of their educational needs.
I think these people, what's inside, all of them, whether Trump, whether they all talk something which I don't understand. I'm a medicine man. I went from very good schools where King Charles went in science, where the military, they are sharp. King Hussein, Saddam Hussein was there. Gaddafi was there after me. So you don't talk by heart. Why pay for them? What's the essence of tertiary education? What do we use? At all level, I went to the army. I taught my class in Britain without any bloody tertiary education. You don't have to pay for it. I mean, come on. It's not as if somebody wants to go to tertiary education, the parents should afford it because you don't need them anyway. I don't need them. They friends and are women about Accra looking for a job. What job? They can't even use the solar energy to produce power for us. They can't do anything. So don't waste our money on people. I mean, I will tell you, when I'm going to tell President Mahama, they don't listen, but they won't listen to me because they are politicians. I'm not a politician.
So you heard a former chief of defense staff and a former national security advisor to former President Mills, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah, retired. That's a flagship program of the NDC, campaign on that, One Power, and many people are looking forward to it. The no fee stress program, they call it, where they say they will pay the fees of all first-year students in the tertiary institutions. Now, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah is saying it's not necessary. Parents should pay the fees. He, in fact, doesn't even see the essence of tertiary education, largely. Let's speak to Dr. Clementa Park. He was a deputy ranking member on education in the 8th Parliament, an MP for Busa South. He joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, Doc. Welcome to Eyewitness News. What do you generally make of Brigadier General Nunu Mensah's concern about your promise to pay fees for first-year students that the parents should pay?
Well, Salam, let me say good evening to you and good evening to our listeners. And of course, City FM is very popular in my constituency. So I say good evening, Junai, to all the people of Busa South who are listening. The retired general is entitled to his views and opinions. But I strongly, and I believe many Ghanaian young men and women who have completed secondary school and have not been able to take up their places in tertiary institutions, largely due to their inability to mobilize the resources to pay for their fees would vehemently disagree with the general's position. Indeed, you indicated in your preamble that this was a proposal that John Dramani Mahama and the NDC presented and campaigned vigorously. And if for nothing at all, the magnitude of the NDC's victory in terms of parliamentary seats and the gap between our candidate now, President John Dramani Mahama, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the former vice president, should be a testament that this, among many other worthy and accepted policies, accounted for the overwhelming support that we have received. So we intend to proceed with the promise made by John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to support students in tertiary institutions with their fees.
I see. You know, but generally, the concern is, I mean, instead of paying for everybody, why don't you bring a scholarship scheme so that those who are in need can apply and promptly get the money to pay their fees? That, he argues, is a proper or a more efficient way of spending our scarce resources rather than making it blanket for everybody, including those who don't need it.
Well, that is his opinion. And in any case, it's not going to be by compulsion. If there are persons who feel that they don't need it and they would not want to be beneficiaries of this arrangement, they are free to opt out. But in as far as this is a manifesto promise that John Dramani Mahama and the NDC made to the people of Ghana, on the basis of which we are now in government, we intend to carry it through. But you see, I believe that Ghanaians voted for us based on this and many other issues because they would rather have their resources invested in the future of our nation by ensuring that every Ghanaian child gets the best education at every level compared to spending somewhere in excess of 58 million Ghana cedis to excavate the largest hole on the surface of the earth. So it is all about choices. And this is the choice we presented to the people of Ghana, and that is what they have opted for. In any case, it is their money, and they say they want it to be done. The president made a promise, and Ghanaians are rest assured that he will carry it through. The general is entitled to his opinion, but he is but one Ghanaian, and others are also entitled to their opinions and to benefit from what was presented to them for which they have accepted.
He also doesn't appear enthused or encouraged by the quality of graduates these tertiary institutions are producing. He says that when they finish, they'll be roaming the streets in Accra, finding or looking for jobs. So they can't even produce solar panels to power lights for us. They can't do anything. So don't waste your money on them. What do you say to this?
Well, he seems to be critiquing our educational system and its products. Yes, we would agree that in every class, you cannot expect all the students to perform equally. And even when they complete, you can't expect everyone to land a job. Yes, we have plans that we believe we are going to implement to ensure that we create more employment opportunities and create more avenues for young men and women to be creative and to be productive. And I would argue, and I think the literature is there to show, that it is better to have a population that is educated compared to a population that is not. So even if young men and women may undertake graduate studies, go to tertiary institutions and complete, and find it difficult to get jobs for which the state has a responsibility to work towards creating opportunities to get them jobs. We cannot knowledge at the tertiary level is first, if for nothing at all, they would have learned some skills, they would have acquired some knowledge to be able to undertake activities that would not be injurious to the future of the Republic. Also remember that in situations where there are opportunities to train, take up responsibilities, it is usually much easier to train people who have acquired an education. So I would still argue that in spite of the challenges to do with youth unemployment, which is a problem that this government recognizes and has made proposals, including the introduction of the 24-hour economy to address, we ought not to turn our back on providing access to young Ghanaians to obtain tertiary level education.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. Clement Apak, for speaking to us on this matter. He is MP for Bosa South and Deputy Ranking Member on Education in the 8th Parliament. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Let's do some energy matters now.
The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has blamed the looming fuel crisis on the Gold for Oil initiative. The initiative, introduced by the previous MPP government, allowed the government to pay for imported oil products through a barter arrangement using gold purchased by the Bank of Ghana. According to the OMC's bulk distribution companies, halted fuel imports at the peak of the policy's supply. However, the decline in supply has led to a shortage of products. The OMC's further noted that multiple warnings to the government about this potential situation was ignored, resulting in the current predicament. Here's its CEO, Dr. Riverson Opong.
When the Good for Oil started, it peaked. And when it peaked, we, the petroleum economics, or let me say experts, we saw this coming. Anytime you are drawing a graph and there's a peak, what happens? There's a fall. And we warned the government, but it wouldn't listen. And when the supply was cut to an extent, and when Central refinery also ceased to produce, or let's say process, or let me say refine crude oil products, we anticipated the loss. Today, the fuel shortage you find in the market, lightly in a way, it has to do with the PMS. Okay, BDCs ceased to import because there was good for oil.
You heard CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Riverson Opong.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Let's hit the phone lines now and speak to Duncan Amoah, Executive Director of COPEC. COPEC is the Chamber of Oil Marketing is the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, and its boss is Duncan Amoah. He joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Talk to us about this rumor about a looming fuel crisis and what really we should expect.
Salom. Hello.
Yes, I'm with you, Duncan.
Okay. So there's been a bit of an issue with fuel, particularly PMS, which is petrol itself. What really is the challenge is that the NPA should have planned their laycan properly, which is to say that the order of vessel or cargo discharge should have been balanced, so that if you have one petrol cargo coming, you have one diesel cargo coming in, so that you can balance market. Unfortunately, we had a situation where more diesel came in somewhere December, and so you would have a natural situation where petrol would not be to the numbers or to the quantities that you would expect, the volume you would expect. So as I speak with you, there are, pockets of shortages across some of the OMCs. There are a number of them you will drive to, you will be told they don't have petrol at all, but you will find diesel at those stations. Now, my checks today with some of the leading oil marketing companies indicate that some of them are even being forced now to have to sell their special product for the price of regular. That is to tell you that there's really a challenge as far as the regular run 91 petrol is concerned. This has prevailed over the past 2-3 weeks. I had calls before coming on your network. Some OMCs is already complaining they are not getting PMS at all on the market. So there's a challenge. I mean, really, I don't think that it is something we can wish away, but it is simply down to the fact that we didn't plan our Lacan arrangement well. And so, whereas we should have done 1-to-1, you had more of, gas oil coming in, whilst gasoline, we got, very, very little. And so, there's some imbalances here and there, like you rightly put it. Hello.
Yeah, so given what you've said, will you know whether there are works ongoing to correct this imbalance? I mean, by now, we should expect that we should have, the petrol on high seas coming to Ghana to help address the imbalance. Do you have any such indication that the problem is being spoken to?
Salom, behind the scenes, we've been working to ensure that imbalance is corrected. And so there's been, 2-3 cargoes coming already to ensure that we correct that petrol thing. Mind you, prior to now, we had shortages up north simply because bus would have to go through the Volta Lake transport system to send products up north. That also had some challenges, and that was rectified just the past weekend. And so if on your network you had earlier reported that there were pockets of shortages in places up north, it was simply because, we were not able to transport enough. And then there was this upgrading of bus facility in Kumasi, the Kumasi depot, which is now to bring it to a certain optimal efficiency where the turnaround time for loading one BRV has been drastically reduced to about 15 minutes now, and so they could do more loading going forward. Once that has been sorted and the Kumasi depot is come back on, the shortage you have up north and around the Kumasi precinct will simply have to be a thing of the past. So I'm certain that for this week, places up north would not experience the same challenges that they experienced somewhere in December and early part of January, because the bus depot has now started doing some loadings and some liftings that can be sent up north. But they would still experience the petrol shortage because we have not been able to discharge enough. Per my checks, the earliest we can be able to correct this current, anomaly will be somewhere next week, Monday. And we anticipate that a week from today, if the 2 cargoes that came in for PMS or gasoline, we are able to discharge them and put them on the market by Monday. Maybe latest Wednesday, the shortages that you clearly have reported on will be able to mitigate or minimize them. But it is indeed the case. The OMCs themselves, if you speak to them, are complaining they are not getting PMS to sell to the market. And so it's something that would need to be worked on. And I can confirm that work is being done to restore the situation to normalcy.
Very well. Thanks so much, Duncan Amwa, Executive Secretary for COPEC, for speaking to us on this matter. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Now let's go to the phone lines and speak to Dr. Patrick Ofori, who is the Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. Doc, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. What is the situation from your end? Are we likely to see or experience fuel crisis because of the reason that your colleague Duncan Amwa has given? Did you share the same view?
We do basically, but not necessarily any serious issue that we need to be worried as a country. Like he did indicate it. I think the problem that we currently we have experienced in Greater Accra now is basically because when we pick up the signal, we engage the regulator. The regulator gave preference for BRVs to load towards the northern part of the country. And as a result of that, the demand, I think we could not really prioritize those in Accra, and that is why we've seen that. There are also issues that borders on the logistics and planning, like he did indicate, with regards to issues concerning the Laken allocation and then also plan of some of these routine maintenance. At least if we had known some of these maintenance, we could have planned accordingly. But the issue as to whether products are on high sea, currently as I'm speaking to you, we've had a vessel of TMS that has already been discharged. There is another 37,000 metric tons of petrol that started discharging this morning. And leading up to this, in a week's time, we have about 3 vessels, all over 30,000 metric tons that will be discharged. Some of our members have also had a special arrangement with the regulator to open up the jetty for them so that they can also bring in smaller vessels to also discharge to ensure that the market is kept afloat. The most important aspect of this whole thing that we wanted to debunk is that it's not because of good for oil, that is why we are experiencing this. Although in the past, because certain preferences were given to BOST, that the whole program was centered around them, it made business sense for some of our members to scale down, because we didn't want a situation whereby you come to the market and then come and have an unhealthy competition with a state entity that when losses, they made any form of losses, it will come in a form of levies that all of us will be bought by. Whereas as a private entity, when you make such losses, you will bear it on your own. I want to reiterate this fact and indicate that from 2017 to 2022, there about December, where the introduction of the Go for Oil came up, the bulk oil importers have demonstrated competency and capacity to supply the market, and not even in the midst of the crisis, Ukraine, and then the COVID period, that Ghana or any part of our country experienced these shortages that crippled the cities like Paris, Lagos, London. We never had that issue, and I think we've demonstrated that we have what it takes to keep the market going, and it's not something that we should be worried about at all.
I see. So in essence, I mean, the most difficult part of the situation is behind us.
Definitely.
Very well. Thank you so much for that. Thanks so much for speaking to us tonight. Dr. Patrick Ofori is the Chief Executive for the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Some of your messages, you can send us your messages via our WhatsApp line 0549986996. This one from Hadi from Pig Farm says, where was Gideon Bwakun when Joe White stopped Honorable Suini from asking a question in 2017? The native doctor who invoked a storm on his people cannot prevent his house from destruction, you say. Eno has another story.
President John Dramani Mahama has announced key appointments in the national security sector. In a statement dated January 15 and signed by acting presidential spokesperson Felix Kwachiofosu, the president named former Chief of Staff Prosper Douglas Bani as the National Security Advisor, DCOP Abdul Osman Razak as the National Security Coordinator, COP Nathan Kofi Boache retired as the Director of Operations at the Presidency, and Charles Kipo as the Director General of the National Intelligence Bureau. These appointments aim to enhance the nation's security framework.
All right, Eyewitness News 97.3 City FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll have City Business News. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma.
Eh?
The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inu Safo. Let's settle for the details. Banks in the country are expected to perform better in the coming years as the country recovers from its debt issues and the overall business environment improves. According to Fitch Ratings' recent report, the ongoing recovery from Ghana's debt restructuring, along with a stabilizing economy, will help the banking sector in 2025. Daniel Odromensa has more in the following Business Desk report.
According to Fitch Ratings, the banks made strong profits in 2023 and 2024, mainly due to high returns from treasury bills. These profits are helping banks rebuild their capital, which was severely impacted by losses from the domestic debt exchange program in late 2022. While the full effect of these losses is hidden by certain accounting rules, Fitch believes that continuous strong profits will help banks regain their capital by 2025, ensuring most banks will meet required capital levels when the temporary relief ends. The domestic debt exchange program finished in 2023 and Fitch expects Ghana's external debt restructuring to be completed by early 2025. The Eurobond exchange in October 2024 improved Ghana's ability to access international funds and reduced pressure on the local currency. As a result, Fitch upgraded Ghana's credit rating. They also expect the country's economy to become more stable in 2025, with growth improving, inflation falling, and the exchange rate stabilizing, all of which should lower risks for the banking sector.
That was a Business Desk report by Daniel Odromensa. The Africa Center for Energy Policy is strongly advocating for the conversion of the Unified Petroleum Price Fund, BOST margin, fuel marking margin, and CRM margin on petroleum products into tax revenues. ASEP suggests that these funds should be redirected towards developmental projects as they are not fulfilling their intended purposes and are placing an additional burden on consumers. Policy lead for petroleum and conventional energy at ASEP, Kojoyache, addressing the media, emphasized that converting these margins into tax revenues would be crucial in addressing the growing energy sector debt.
We are asking that all these margins, given our work, which shows that there is no justification in the current market for them. We are already paying, and it will be a good source of revenue to government. So government should convert all of them into tax revenues and redirect those revenues towards development projects. And they have to be specific on what things. Yesterday, I was hearing the money that they seized from the petroleum minister in Nigeria. They are going to use it for rural electrification, right? With projects attached to it. Those are some of the things that we want these margins to be converted to. Convert them to tax that can finance development right? And this will free up about 6.3 billion Ghana cedis in annual revenue to fund critical infrastructure and social programs.
Kojeyache has also expressed support for the privatization of the Electricity Company of Ghana.
If you have a distribution entity that is only collecting about 43% of the revenues that it's supposed to collect on the average every month, that is a big problem. Government has shown it cannot reform itself. It cannot reform itself because there's no accountability for the decisions within the space. If ECG procures some meters to the tune of $40 million and keeps in some warehouse and it gets bad or it doesn't go and do factory acceptance,